Love and light family, my name is Dr. Marcia Derby Davis. Welcome to the Wellness Corner, a safe place where we discuss all things wellness. I am honored today to have as my guest my dear friend, Miss Ramona Ruth Ann Leroy Spence. Welcome, Ramona.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Derby, for having me.
And Ramona is also known as the Vagina Lady, and she'll tell you a little bit about her work as we go through this interview. So Ramona, between us, let's begin. We know that the journey to healing and wellness is never an easy one. And I really think it involves taking a deeper dive within, trying to discover the I am within. Who am I beneath all the roles that I do? So my first question to you is, who is Ramona beneath all the roles? Who is she?
This question actually, you asked me in our first session in a different way, in terms of tell me about Ramona, tell me about you, tell me about your life, tell me, so it's funny that we are kind of asking me that again in a different way. For me, when I look down deep in the inner core aspect of Ramona, the spirit version of self, I would say Ramona is an authentic person. She is full of life. She is athletic. She enjoys exploring. She forgives, not herself so much. And she's a light worker. She is a healer, not just day to day, but in terms of for herself. I heal myself, and that's pretty important to me too. I think that's it. I don't know. I mean, I guess there are some other things, but that's the core.
You said a lot, and I like the fact that you said you are a healer, and it's so important for us as healers to really come into knowing and embracing that part of us as healers. It doesn't mean that we cure disease, but we are here as healers to help others on their journey. So tell us a little bit about your work, Ramona, as a healer.
So in terms of healing, assisting people with any type of wellness, any type of healing, I usually do that from a reproductive standpoint. So usually, it's women that will have fibroids or cysts, hormonal issues, maybe fertility issues happening or not happening, miscarriages, that type of thing. And so I use natural methods to be able to heal and treat these things so that you can just feel your best and be the best version of yourself without feeling, hormonally all over the place. But with that, I have realized that there is an emotional and mental aspect of healing that also has to be involved from this physical plane. So things like even fibroids, which are, of course, a physical entity, right? And these things sit inside the uterus or maybe outside the uterus. But at the end of the day, it is a tumor. And from the healing world or the wellness world or the natural world, we all know that when it comes to tumors, these things are an emotional entity that has developed into a physical plane, right? It becomes a physical thing. And so if I'm dealing with a woman that would have fibroids, for example, she more than a woman that would have suffered from maybe endometriosis, I would have to put more effort and energy into healing her inner, her past, her maybe relationships, the way she views herself, the way people treat her, and so on and so forth, But when it comes to my clients, healing from a physical angle, mental angle, emotional, and spiritual is extremely important to get that full wellness aspect and, feel good, walk around feeling good, doing what you're supposed to do here.
That's amazing. You do amazing work, Ramona.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit. We talked about your clients in terms of what you do to heal them as a healer. So let's talk a little bit about your journey of becoming. Share with us how your journey has shaped the woman that you are today.
My journey has been a quite interesting journey. It is not normal. I think it needs to be in a book one day, thinking about it. But it has definitely been a great ride so far. I do believe that my spirit is here to do some amazing, great things in terms of healing. And of course, people are here as well to be able to help me to heal as well. A couple years ago, I was diagnosed with a horrible reproductive condition called adenomyosis. And this condition really affects the uterus, the inside of the uterus. And so it made my periods very painful. It made ovulation very painful. I was miserable every day of my life from a physical standpoint. And I was supposed to have a hysterectomy at 29. And when I opened up myself to this wellness world or this natural holistic world, I was totally blown away by all of the options and things that are out there, because we don't talk about these things. Well, then, now I think people are becoming more awakened, but I did not know a lot of these things. I didn't understand chakras. I didn't know that there's inner child healing, that there's shadow work, that there's, barely meditation. And so using these things, using meditation, using plants and herbs and eating well, and also, journaling and just doing these different things, I found that it helped me to heal myself physically, which is what I was more focused on at that time. Heal my body physically, to the point where, of course, now I don't need to have a hysterectomy. The disease has been away for 10 years and not coming back. So going through my journey, it was from wellness. It was more from a physical standpoint then, 10 years ago. Now it seems like there are these other aspects of wellness that's opening up to me, which I am definitely tapping into. So when we talk about the emotional aspects and actually really helping to counsel my clients in terms of what they've been going through. And also that allows me to be able to kind of do some introspect work and do that for myself as well. So from the physical standpoint, yes, that is something that I started 10 years ago, and it's been fantastic. And I've used also the other aspects, the emotional and the physical also, and pull that in to kind of do that whole mind, body, soul, spirit thing. We find when we put all of that together, it's a little more speedy and it sticks a little more,
So your own journey has helped you to connect with your patients on a deeper level, on that mind, body, spiritual level. That is so amazing. So
yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do it without that.
And a lot of times, we talk about us as light workers, as healers, healing others, but we also need to be healed on our journey so that we can be our authentic self and be authentically present for our clients.
Yes, 100%.
So my next question to you, Ramona, is this. As we grow and move through this journey, we learn to shed parts of us that no longer serve us. And we've worked on that in our sessions so that we can embrace this new energy. It's like, a rebirth. So what does this rebirth mean to you?
I love that. I love that word, rebirth, actually. It is everything for me. And there are many different angles to that. I just turned 40. Yay!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. And I have been doing a lot of reflection, a lot of looking back at, the choices I've made, the cycles that have continued, may they be good for me or not. And in doing a lot of that work, it has reminded me now that I'm going through this new rebirth. Every 10 years, every 10 years so far, I find that there is this huge rebirth that happens for me. I am a Scorpio, and Scorpio is the sign of rebirth and birthing and all these things. So that's kind of interesting also. But when it comes down to rebirth, I think it is so necessary for us to bloom again and blossom again, and put our energies out there. And we do have to release. The release is extremely important, especially for light workers. You know, we find that we don't release as much. We don't cleanse as much. You have to put in that energy because there's so much energy that you're working with on a daily basis, maybe mentally, maybe physically in your space. And so rebirth really cannot happen without the shedding. You know, you have to release, you have to. And then you see this beautiful birthing that happens when you've shed that, because now you can. It's almost like, you know, detoxing the body. You know, if you don't detox the body, then how is the body going to absorb these great, amazing, beautiful things that you're putting in it to heal it? It's not going to absorb it as well. But when we cleanse it, then it works. So the release, the cleanse of the mind and the emotions are extremely important for this rebirth. That is so beautiful. I'm loving this rebirth thing right now.
I think that's amazing. I always think of, you know, this rebirth too is, don't put me in a box. I am becoming and unbecoming. I am learning and I am unlearning, because this is a journey, not a destination. That is beautiful, Ramona. My next question is about vulnerability and transparency, because, you know, those are major parts of the journey. And I call this part of the journey the transformation piece. And when I think about transparency, I mean really being transparent with ourselves first, you know? So were there parts of yourself that you rediscovered, and perhaps part of yourselves that you had to let go during this journey of rebirth?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. The letting go, sure. I mean, I'm still in the process of letting go things that don't serve my highest good, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. The being able to be transparent with self was not difficult, but I thought I was being transparent with self this whole time. Mm-hmm. And it is just now being awakened and realizing, no, actually you're not. You're still hiding behind something, you know. It's just now that I feel like, yes, I know myself. I see myself. I'm honest with myself, the good, the bad, and the in-between. So being vulnerable to self is actually something that I'm embracing right now. When it comes to others, I'm actually not so good at that right now. And usually that is my strength. So usually when it comes to people, what you see is what you get with me. And I'm very transparent, and I'll tell you about my life, and I don't have a problem, and I can be very honest and straightforward. That's shifted for me. And I don't know if it is because of the trials and stuff that I have been through that now has removed some of the confidence that I had, shifted certain things for me, that I'm not as transparent to strangers or to people, but I am much more transparent with self. So I think that's really important. I think that's kind of where it needs to start. Everything is supposed to start with self. And I guess after a while, it will be a domino effect, right? And then I will feel more comfortable being able to express and be transparent across the board with whoever, with my clients. You know, I find that a lot of times when I am like that, or when I would be like that, it makes them more comfortable, you know, makes them more secure in being able to express themselves as well. So I hope that that will shift a little as time goes on. But transparency with self, 100%, I am there.
That's amazing. And it's part of the journey. You know, we talk about this spiritual journey and this journey of wellness. It's a journey, not a destination. And it takes time. And being transparent with yourself, meaning this is who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm owning my story. I'm standing in my truth. And when it comes to being transparent with others, we have to, you know, protect ourselves. And gradually we'll learn to share parts of ourselves that we'll feel comfortable with. So it's a journey. So be gentle with yourself.
I will.
My next question, and I'm loving this conversation. How do you navigate through the highs and through the lows of your daily life? Do you have any type of spiritual practice to keep you grounded?
Okay, so this is a huge one for me, because I do have like a rituals, different ritual stuff that I will do in the morning. My gratitude, affirmations, meditations, whatever chakra I'm working on, kind of like stimulating that. Depending on the time, I might get a chance to journal, maybe not. But I do have a thing, and of course, exercising. I do have a thing, right? What I do. I find though, when I'm getting into my lows, I'm not low, I'm not down and out, I'm not pop, but I'm getting there. But it's a slow transition to there. I find that is when I don't go running. I don't feel to go running. I don't feel like I'm just going to do one meditation today. I can't bother, and I find that when I do that, it doesn't allow me to pull myself and raise my vibration, right? Which would then, of course, make me feel better, make me have that good feeling. I can't have that good feeling if I'm feeling so low and feeling so negative and woe is me and I'm depressed about everything. So what I find now is I make absolutely no excuse and to get certain things done. So if I know that I did not go running today, I have to go running tonight, or tomorrow morning. It's happening. That exercise thing for me is really important. It makes me think. It makes me release. It makes me detox, and it keeps me in shape, of course, which is very important to me. But apart from the exercise and meditations and stuff like that, that's pretty much what I say I do, for sure.
So then it seems as though then, despite the way you're feeling, especially during the low times, it's important to push through and keep that routine going, just to help you release those endorphins, to help you navigate through your day when you're having a bad day or when your vibration is low.
Right. Or listening to stuff, listen to stuff that feel good. If it's music, if it's someone saying a speech, if it's just affirmations in the background, just something to feel good. Every time I get that uncomfortable feeling, whatever it is from whatever part of my body, I just have to remind myself, think about something that makes you feel good, like think about something that makes me feel good, puts a smile on my face, if it's gratitude stuff, if it's something that happened yesterday that was great and amazing. And so that's what I have to do, or else all hell will break loose. I'll be like, where is this highest place I can jump off? Literally.
That's why it's so important for us to be real with ourselves and know our true self, and know really to pick ourselves up when we are not in that good place. That's so important.
That no self is really important. That no self, that's where everything starts, Dr. Derby. You have to know yourself, then that's how you can love yourself. That's how you can heal yourself. That's how it's all about the knowing.
Yes, it's all about the knowing of yourself, coming to knowing of who you are in all areas of your life.
Yes.
Now, my next question is, Mendoza said she have a whole lot of questions.
It's fine.
My next question is, I am a big advocate of manifestation and working with the universal energy to just bring the things that you desire into your life. So I believe you create a mental picture of what you desire, and then you see yourself in the now, and you begin to manifest that into your life now. You begin to live as if it is already happening. So tell me, where or do you see Ramona 5 years from now?
It's funny, that manifestation thing. I find that when I just stay vibrating high, things just play out so well, so well. So that's definitely something that I'm going to continue to do. But I would say, to be honest with you, 5 years from now, I see my company being larger than it is. I see myself teaching and traveling. and encouraging. I see myself owning a children's home, something that's really, really dear to me, something I really want to do. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next 5 years, but that's something that I would really love to happen. I also just peace and love. I would love to be able to be in a romantic situation that feeds my soul, that doesn't break me down, but enlightens me and challenges me. Yes, and I'm not running away from that, but makes me feel good and makes me want to press forward and be the best version of myself, instead of me having to build myself back up because you're breaking me down to do that. So that's really important to me as well. Buying a house. I want to buy a house. I want to be settled. I want my kids to be settled. So 5 years from now, that definitely needs to be happening. And healing, just healing the world, like one womb at a time. Like it is my goal for every woman to have a 1 day period. And so next 5 years, there should be 2,000 women or more that are having 1 day periods. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's a lot, Ramona. And you know what? You are a force to be reckoned with. And I know that the universe is going to bring you all the good things that you desire.
Thank you for that.
So as we're coming to the end of this interview, one of the things I like to add in my sessions as I talk to my clients is gratitude. Because research really indicates that gratitude or giving thanks improve our overall well-being. And you did talk about gratitude as you were sharing your story. So tell me, how do you include gratitude into your daily routine? Are you working with gratitude now?
Yes, I am. It's something I like to do the first thing in the morning. Gratitude. If it's a gratitude prayer, if it is a gratitude affirmation, if it is just sitting down in silence and stillness, just thinking about all the things that I'm actually really, really grateful for from birth to now. Sometimes I do a thing where I just focus on one person. There's just one person that I focus on when it comes to the gratitude in my heart for them. It's very important. I think it's something that I am teaching my children as well, for them to understand, because I don't think it was really instilled in me. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be grateful, but grateful and gratitude is just so different. Gratitude is just to another level. And it's something that I make sure I practice on a daily basis. I have to stay in gratitude.
Well, I am grateful for you, Ramona, and I'm so grateful that you took time out of your busy day to really spend some time just chatting with me. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience before we end?
Well, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the way you fell into my life. I'm grateful for your heart, and your honesty, and how open and honest you've always been. That means so much to me. When it comes to healing, when it comes to being the better version of yourself, when it comes to all of that, I think the first part of it has to be about knowing yourself. You have to spend that time. You have to go down deep and figure out what that is, who that is. And then from there, you can figure out, well, what do you want? And then you can go from there. How do you love yourself if you don't? So putting time and effort and energy into you loving you, nurturing you, giving to you, forgiving you, that is where the healing really, really, really begins, from a spiritual standpoint. And then, of course, detoxing from a physical standpoint.
That's beautiful. So I would say that we're on a combined journey. You're healing one womb at a time, and I'm healing one woman at a time. So we're on this journey together, and I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed. I love you so much. I
love
honor
you too.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you for having me.
Much love and light.
Bye.
And I will share your contact information for all those women who have fertility issues so that they can reach out to you. Blessings, my love. Thank you so
Thank you, my
much.
darling. Bye.
Namaste.